Testing. All right, I'm gonna start. Okay. Hello, welcome. This is Epochs of Enmity. Actually, let's look up what that means. Enmity. That means deep-seated, often mutual hatred. Feeling or state of hatred or animosity. Okay. I should probably find out what epic means. Okay, that is what I thought it meant. Okay, period of hatred. Very not nice. Okay. Let's get started. Okay. Oops. Nuts. Is a C shift? GLC shift? Ugh. Okay, C shift percent we put at 15 last time. Okay. So this is Bunker of Barzai by Greenwood. I'm gonna assume that everyone knows that this is a map that Greenwood released in another pack, but now it's in Epochs of Enmity. Alright. I guess I haven't streamed this at all. Okay, so we start off there in the black unknown, but then we look up and we come out of the sewer and we have this crowbar or plier. There's another word for it. That's not crowbar. Not sure which is which, but yeah, a little bit of storytelling where it looks like we're invading thief style into the Bunker of Barzai. Wow, okay. That was violent. I guess the puppies got to this unfortunate soul. I think this was originally released as a solo map, so it's kind of cool seeing it integrated into a map pack. Alright, so we have this, I think this is called Runic, the texture set. So we have this Runic texture set, some tiles being removed, red, well, blood orange, I guess, sky pouring in. Very mysterious. And a pentagram flashing. We won't see it here, so yeah, I don't know. That's a little mystery. I don't know what that's telling us. It's a Satanism or something. I should actually look up do more research on what the pentagram means. specifically. So we have our exit here, clearly demarcated. Go from this angle. I know this map. I've played it about 2 or 3 times. So I know we'll take a dip in here, which is pretty interesting. So we have we're using our pentagram. Speaking of pentagrams, to navigate the lava. Oops. I was taking a bit too long. I guess that's not a bad thing. I think it's cool that you can open and close it. Oopsie daisies. Yeah, and what's cool is right here when you open it, instead of, like, I think most players will naturally look down, but it has the, I don't know which spawn flag it is, but it has a kind of pulsing orange glow to it, which is very, very helpful in getting us to look down. So let's save there. I really like that lava texture. Ay, que la fregada. So you have this little maze, which is kind of fun. And there's the second one. And this is not a secret, but it's required in order for us to progress, which is pretty interesting. Alright, so I'm gonna hurry up. Take advantage of this. Well, okay. That was pretty rough. Alright. So I'm gonna just get through this. I was being a little slow for I don't know, I just like taking my time, but now is not the time to take my time. Alright. And I'll save here. Alright, get the silver key. I think I called it blue, which is a very common thing for me to do. Alright, go in here. Okay, so we have a little ogre battle in a very tight space, which is very panic-inducing. Cool. Okay. No, I did see a boy up there. All right, so that was okay. So I just wanted to. All right, so we have symmetry. All right, so that was a cool sequence. So we came out of here, out of the lava. I rushed to get to the blue area, and yeah, and then we're able to use the quad damage to or the invincibility to our advantage by I know one of these you can go in, I think. Yeah, and that was a good encounter too. You know, it's kind of interesting that you rarely see two pentagrams in a row being used. That second one was hidden, of course, And so I thought that was pretty interesting to do that kind of series, to let the adrenaline or juice or what have you flowing through the player. And that's not just getting through the maze, but also, hey, let's go on the rampage, which is fun. So it's kind of it's really cool how there's dual use of the, I keep on wanting to call it quad damage, of the pentagram. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool doing underwater. It's the opposite of water. Yeah, it's cool being able to just like have a section with lava, where you have to swim through, which is something I'm actually working on right now for the Christmas jam. Section lava you had to swim through, and which is really fun, because what I like about it is, I mean, it's a given that you'll stay invincible, and of course only because of this protection. But what makes it different than the water is, like, your view is always like being I don't know what that word is, where it moves around, like jerked up and down and stuff, and around, and it's heavy red filter. It makes it sort of less easy to navigate, and with the head jerk animation frame, or whatever you would call it, that makes it a lot more panic inducing, because that's something you don't really do when you're swimming. You don't jerk your head around like that, and that definitely helps sell that you're in a very dangerous place and you better get the heck out of here. Okay, that was cheesy. Alright, sorry. Alright. Yeah, so this is pretty cool non-linear layout. Okay, yeah, I think the Shalrith is under me. I wonder how I get up there. Oopsie daisies. Yeah, I like that there's more. I guess they would still be called. Oh, what are they called? Skylights. Yeah. I really like skylights, and I think it kind of helps sell the realness of a space. Not realness, but more. It helps sell that this is a space more than if you just keep it indoors, because you're given a sense of, this is sort of grounding the place by putting in a sky and having some sort of reference, instead of like I don't know if I want to say the name, but yeah, okay, there's a movie where there's some guy living in the basement, or woman, or both, I can't remember, and it's just the fluorescent glow, and having that without having sunlight feels pretty horrific. It seems like it would be, because I can't say I've ever done that before, and I hope I never have to. Access denied. I don't know how to open this. I'm pretty sure I've done that at some point, but I can't remember. But yeah, and so opening up to the sky to show some sort of quote-unquote nature, I think is really helpful in selling a place. It makes it less claustrophobic. Even if the map is pretty wide open, just having that sense of yeah, having that sense of place really feels good sometimes. And again, like if you're in a depressing labyrinth, you don't want that. I know there's a quad damage somewhere. I'm pretty sure. Maybe that's a secret I don't have access to right now. Isn't it here? I thought it was right here. What the heck? I don't know why I did that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it just feels more human, more lifelike in a sense. I don't know. I mean, because I think like there's some creatures like that don't need light, but humans need light in some capacity. Okay, there we go. I had to just go inside. Okay. Okay. Anyways, you know it's an intense battle and I don't say anything for a minute or so. Yeah, I really think that going back up here. Oh, I love the staircase so much. This is, I think, no, my favorite part of the level is the lava section. Yeah, I really do think having this a peek to the outside world, it just feels so good and so healthy. Yeah, I mean, I guess that does allude to the fact that humans have a need for oxygen and fresh air and stuff like that. I don't know if that's just something I made up. I have no idea if that's true or not. But I do know this has been particularly true during the pandemic that not going outside for a while, I do get depressed for sure. And I do get cabin fever where I get kind of a headache and I just feel kind of like dry on the inside. I don't know how to explain it better than that. That's kind of a weird way to explain it, but yeah, I feel like humans do need to see the sky. Now I was just watching a video on liminal spaces and jeez. Yeah, I was just watching I'm not going to wait for that again. I'm just watching a video. I just watched a video on liminal spaces, and one of the liminal spaces, which basically just means like a transitional space, like for example, like a bus station where people aren't supposed to be there forever. It's just somewhere in between where functions happen. A deserted school after school hours is another example. God, that scared me. I knew something was coming. I forgot what, though. Yeah, and that's it. Only 5 out of 8 secrets. But yeah, so yeah, there's this transitional space, or this liminal space, which was not really liminal space. It was just a weird looking space. The internet, people on the internet change what words mean all the time, and liminal is not the technically correct usage of it, but you know, that's just how things go. But yeah, there's an underground bunker with artificial lighting to simulate real lighting. And to me, the idea of having to live in a bunker is like just one of the most depressing things I can think of, to not have sunlight. It's just called Bunker of Barzai. How funny. Is it a really bunker if you can see the sky? Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, another... Huh. It doesn't go anywhere? Interesting. Okay. Or I just didn't figure it out. Whatever. Yeah, another, you know, Greenwood. I definitely think your signature for maps, as far as I can tell, is stairs and using floors stacked on top of each other. That seems pretty much almost... I think every map I've played of yours has floors like that. I remember the first one I played, which might have been your first map, was a 768 Jam, which was a long time ago. And another one I fondly remember is the ship that you did. And yeah, those definitely use floors to... yeah, I don't know what sentence I was going to say with that. But yeah, it's a really good use of floors. And I think this part was really strong here as well. Because you had a peek here, you could murder a couple beasties from here, but not all of them. Getting a preview of the space as to prevent getting completely lost. You have a sense of what you're going to be up against. It's a little crate maze, but nothing too complicated. A couple surprises here and there, which is always good. But it's funny. It's always predictable that you're gonna go through a space and there's gonna be monsters. Like, it would have been really weird if there weren't any monsters that you couldn't see, right? But I do think the way they're used made sense, and it was great. I also like this little area over here. It doesn't feel particularly important. It's a transitional space, I guess. It serves to connect this main area with down here. But in itself, it has its own little personality, again, of being open. This feels a little bit more relaxing, which is not something what I would say about a space where you murder creatures. But it does have a nice, like, relaxed vibe because, I mean, oh gosh, I just thought about that places with skylights usually are for people who have money. Yeah, I guess a lot of places where you grew up poor, below the poverty line, don't really have skylights. I notice them more in affluent people's houses. So I guess that's why it gives me that feeling of luxury, I guess. Which is, again, very strange to say when it comes to a quick map. Because, yeah, down here it does feel a lot more bunkerish going down. And, this definitely feels very formidable. But when you switch to this area here, yeah, it feels more inviting. And just lovelier. So, yeah, I think that's a really interesting... I've never thought about that as thoroughly before, but I really like how that's presented. It's great. And these are detailed... Oh, that's interesting. So you can see it this way. But... okay, but you can only see the... wait, what am I doing? Okay, so this way you only see that. And here you see the pentagram? Or is it on the side? Or is it when I push the button? Oh, okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. And there's no button here. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, okay, got it. That's other. Okay, that's a really cool use of symmetrical architecture, but asymmetrical function. Yeah, so that was a really cool map. I think last time I played it, I wasn't streaming, so it was good to be able to stream there. Maybe that last hallway was a bit too long to walk through, but it's fine. Oh shoot! I forgot that it's WOD Wednesday. Whoops. I forgot that it's Wednesday. Okay, I'm gonna say hi over there real quick. But with my other profile. So I'll be back in about 30 seconds or so. Okay. So I said my hello to JP Le Breton and friends. All right. Okay, so this is Obliteration Domain. I believe this is Nolcoz. And this continues the runic theme, which is one of my favorites, by the way. Okay, and oh, we're given lots of weapons. And that seems very scary. I'm gonna don't go down here. Okay, and yeah, I don't think this is the last map. I'm gonna check my. Okay, so yeah, this is the penultimate map by Nolcoz. And we're given a bunch of weapons right away. And to me, that signals the boss. But and when I played this, I figured, okay, this is the last map. 88 kills, so nice boss arena size thing. Actually, I want to take a look at this. This is a texture I don't remember seeing before. Maybe it's colored a little bit differently than a pre-existing texture, but this is a really fascinating way to make a new gate. Yeah, I mean, it's abstract and it does the job. It's asymmetrical. Really interesting design, and I dig that quite a bit. Okay, so let me get that. I'm gonna save here, just in case. All right, so right away, when we are presented with 3 choices. So this is what I think of as a player. Right ahead, there's a gate, so you can't go that way. To the left is a silver key, and to the right is lava with green armor or blue armor. I don't know which one. The temptation for sure is to go get the silver key, but knowing it's Quake, especially since this is the 8th map, we're not going to be able to just get it like that. And I'm correct. Did I expect Blobby Boys? Nope. Even though I played it a couple weeks ago, I still forgot. Okay. So that was a little tricky encounter. Okay. Going down here. Open somewhere else. All right. Okay, so just gonna go around. It's got to be simple, right? Gonna get the lightning gun. That wasn't that bad, surprisingly. So whenever I see... Hold on, let's go back to this encounter. Yeah, really neat way of forcing the player to go in one way and fight their way out. It was pretty simple this time, but I'm pretty sure there's more monsters on hard. And this seems a little needlessly complicated, but to me in a positive way. Because having a loop like this... Hold on. No. Having a loop like this makes you wonder where you're going to go to accomplish what's around the corner. And so I really like that. And then when it comes to these textures on the wall where it's blood across, it always makes me scared. Because, yeah, I expect something big to come out of the wall. Alright, so there's these crushers, which is very scary. Okay, I got lucky there. Alright, so going around the corner very slowly, just in case. Oh, and we're going down instead of up. Okay, so this is a very claustrophobic, Sandy-esque level. It's scary. So this is what we're faced with. I just want to do this. I don't know why. I always just like seeing what that's like. Alright, so this is very, very scary. We have to go quickly. Okay, gonna get out my lightning gun, just in case another bad boy like that comes out. So now we have to go closer to the danger. Alright, so I'm just gonna... Oh no! SHIT. Okay. Well, that wasn't ideal, but whatever. So that was a little area for protection. Now we have to go one step closer. So let's run. And we're going up. Okay, and the way this map has established itself, which is very reminiscent of that secret map in, I don't know if it's E2 or E3. Yeah, this is very reminiscent of that one. You all know which one I'm talking about. Yeah, and that it's very, very tight, and you don't know what to expect with each turn. Okay, and that was good use of enemies to direct me on where I ought to be going. Oh, but before that, okay, so here's where we were earlier, the silver key, sorry. Oh, and then we can see that this is a horseshoe. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna... Oh, that scared the heck out of me. So I'm gonna back into it because I'm afraid of what's gonna happen. Alright, well, I was right to be afraid. Alright, conquered that. I'm gonna bring out my lightning gun for the third one. Shoot. That was a good decision. Shoot. Okay, I'm not making the smartest moves though. That was hecka stupid. Alright, but I survived and that's fine. A long time ago I definitely would have save scummed. But I am a reformed human. Okay, so now we're looking for the silver key door. Which, yeah, it's right here. But we need to open it up. Not that way. Let's see. Where should we go to open that up? Oh, what was that? Okay, so it might be this way. That's my guess. This is very frightening. Jesus. That was funny. Alright. Lightning gun time. It's giving me a lightning gun. Alright. I'm very pleased with my decision to use the lightning gun. Okay, this is a relief to only have these baby knights. Yikes, that was hairy as heck. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, tricky around... Is there anything over there? I don't think so. Let's check. Ooh, there is. Okay. I'm glad I checked. Alright. So we're relying on the fallen column to go forward, and now we're playing Super Mario to get around. Alright. Okay. That was scary but successful. Can do a 10 hit point save. Why not? Alright. I'm gonna play a little bit safe. Okay, cool. Alright, good. Alright, this is not ideal. I have plenty of nails. I'll use nails. Alright. I'm making it through. And we're going down instead of up like I expected. Okay. I want to do this just for fun. Nope. Okay, so now we're going back. Alright. Oh! Boy. Okay, so that was helpful, but I got scared. Jesus. Ay, que la fregada. Okay, I survived. Which way do I go? Okay, I have to go this way. Playing it safe again. Have to. Yeah, these steps are frightening. Because again, I never know what's going to happen next. Where do I go from here? Okay, this way. Alright, do I have the... I don't have the gold rune key. So... maybe I have to go to back... Was this where I was? I think so. Alright, so let me explore this way if I can. No, I don't see anything there. Can't really see anything this way. Okay. Okay, that was mean. I survived, but that doesn't make it not mean. Okay. Yeah, this level does not play friendly. It didn't make sense, did it? Alright. Let's go down and see what happens. Is there anything this way? Okay, let's go down here. Ooh, that was a close call. Alright. Making good use of the lightning gun. Very, very happy that we have access to that. Okay, this looks a little bit suspicious. Like, this is very plain. What's going on here? Something's gonna come out of the wall. Oh, yes. And then this comes out. I really like that a lot. Yeah, this was very frightening the very first time I saw it. Then, oh shoot, I forgot about this. Now it's an obstacle course. It's not straightforward. Like I said, it's a little bit suspicious. Okay, so those segments are always very scary to me. I knew what I was doing, so it wasn't quite as scary, but rest assured, first time, oh my goodness. That just messed me up. Okay, I'm just gonna use lightning gun. I just can't deal with. Oh Jesus! Yeah, I just can't deal with spider lady. Not my favorite thing in the whole world. Nice textures. Alright. So now we gotta... Nice. Now we gotta use this. Something tells me we might need to be using the lightning gun soon. Alright. Save, and let's just charge forward. Oh. Oh, yes, I have to. Alright. Shoot. I can't believe I got that. I totally forgot that was gonna happen. Okay, so yeah, this is what happens. Okay, and you chase it. So that's what happens if you chase it. If you go up. The problem with that is getting stuck on that, so you're busy chasing it. Oh, but you can still get it. Hopefully you don't fall down like I did. Okay, yeah, that is very, very cool. Yeah, the first time I played this on hard, I definitely died to the swarm of Hell Knights. And that was... Yeah, I love this. It's another very mean thing to do to players. And I love when that happens. Alright, so this appears to be the end. Floating blocks. A sun spider sort of thing. But before, I'm going to take a look around. I didn't get many secrets. This is an extremely boxy map. But the cool thing is, I don't really think about that. Because it's so intertwined. It's like spaghetti in a good way. I love spaghetti. Also, yeah, this is a lot larger than it seems because of the hallways. They're so cramped. And it almost feels like a compact map, like it moves in and out itself, but it doesn't. It's actually pretty spread out, which is a surprise. And I like it both ways in the sense that I like when things are compact because it uses space like very economically, and that's cool. But I also really like seeing things spread out like this. It gives it a bigger sense of, or more true sense of, here's the space that we went through together. And I think that's really neat. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I really, really love the tricks that happened here. Quite a bit. I don't know, something about feeling like a cat, or no, like a mouse and a cat. Like feeling like you're a mouse and a cat's. I don't know. Like I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know how to say it the way I want to say it. Yeah, it just feels really cool being like a lab experiment, something that the creator, the architect is just playing with you. It's very not demeaning or humiliating. It's just sort of humbling's not the right word either. It just makes you feel so small, but not in a cosmic horror sense. It just makes you feel like just inferior in a way, and you're trying to beat all these odds. And I think a lot of the reason, yeah, I definitely died a lot of times the first time around, playing on hard, and in that sense, it feels more appropriate to die over and over in this kind of map like that. I think I know some people really don't like trial and error, but I'm a huge fan of it in the sense where you need to like be really on your toes in order to succeed. And those times where you barely escape a trap, and it's your first time, and just by reading the room or reading the clues and just kind of outsmarting the trap is one of the most rewarding things. And that's obviously the ideal way to play, to get everything first try, but that's not always the case. And sometimes having to replay it feels kind of cheap because you already know what's going to happen. You could just take advantage of that. And that kind of sucks. But if we didn't have this sort of trial and error design, then that would also just suck to not have the capability of using tricks like that, because everything would be a little bit too predictable. And yeah, I mean, so there's obviously no easy. There's never going to be agreement over that. Like, I love the game Limbo and Inside, where you die a lot to figure out what you need to do. I also like that those games are really dark, and I love that scent. I love darkness like that. Precisely because I don't like it, and it scares me and it freaks me out, especially because you're a little boy, and that's just disturbing to me. But that's what I find most effective, is to be disturbed. Yeah, and I'll say that when I first started playing Quake, it was the scariest game I've ever played. It was very, very exhausting to play. I could only play 1 or 2 maps a night. But now I'm at a point where I'm just so desensitized towards what's scary. I use Quake to sort of relax, and that's kind of a shame in a sense. But this is a map during the first playthrough where I did feel some of that fear again, and that's one of the highest compliments I can give by far, is it made me feel those things that I once felt. I also played what is it called? Dopa, and I did play that not too long after I first started playing Quake, and that had some traps in it, and that legitimately scared me as well. But I played through it a couple days ago just to compare, like, okay, this is what episodes 5 like, and now we're in episode 6. And I remember feeling very scared. There was instances where I kind of got a little bit not scared, but a little bit creeped out. But yeah, that doesn't happen too often. And so it's really great, Nolcoz, with this map, that you're able to make me feel that once again. It wasn't as like ideally I would have played this within the first couple weeks of finishing episode 5 for the first time, but it wasn't out then. But it's, yeah, so I'm really surprised how it made me feel. But yeah, excellent map. Thank you for your work. Okay, and this is actually I'm going to take a quick drink of tea. I'll be back in a minute. So it started raining outside, and it's raining kind of hard, and that makes me very happy because I'm inside and I don't have to go anywhere. Okay, so this is... oh my goodness. Okay, I didn't pay attention the first time I saw this map name. I thought it was Terracotta. No, it's Terracotta. This is by MarkieMusic, aka Michael Markie. Okay. Let's save. Okay, so this has the... I don't remember the original name, but this has the obsessive brick disorder theme. I don't know what the tile set's called. But it's so cool and surprisingly underutilized. Okay, so we start off here. I'm gonna save. No turning back now. That's also pretty interesting to have the teleporter texture in an obvious teleporter door and not being able to use that. That's really cool and surprising. Huh, okay. Yeah, I was seeing if the texture was moving up and down. Yeah, it does. I don't think so. I don't know, is it? Anyways. Oh, hey! Hey, is this teleporter texture moving up and down? And if so, how is that possible? I can't really tell. But if not, you've hidden it well. It's bobbing, okay. I thought you couldn't make you can make liquids bob? I wasn't sure about that. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Alright, so yeah. OBD textures, again, very underutilized. Oh yeah. Okay, so they no longer behave like liquids. Alright. So we come out here and we see some mean boys moving this way and that. Gonna start off by getting rid of him. Get rid of the hit scanners right away. That's my priority. And get rid of these nasty boys. And yeah, this construction's reminiscent of... I forgot the name of your other map. The flesh roll one. Where there's a lot of interlocking chambers and stuff. But as a rule of navigation, I always go to the left. I take every left I can. Yes, within the Flayed Kingdom. Correct. Alright. So we go in here. But it's not activated, so... and I know it's a wind tunnel because I played this before. Alright, let's just... But also, there's also a history of in video games. Oh, they're made simultaneously. That makes sense. Yeah, so within the history of video games, seeing circular passages like this are often, to me, either sewers or passageways to somewhere. Okay, and within the history of Quake, knowing this texture set, yeah, I'm probably going to be flying through this, but I'm not right now. I'm going to shoot a rocket up. Okay, so that's open. But even if I didn't know obsessive brick disorder, I would probably understand that this is a wind tunnel because of the wind tunnels map, which is, yeah, because this shape doesn't happen too often. There's often semicircular shapes, but rarely is there full pipes. And since this is obviously not a sewer, it's a passageway raised above the ground. Yeah, it's very likely that we're going to be tunneling through there. Okay. Just going to check these. Nope. Ah. I was hoping they grouped together so I could rocket them both. To no avail. Okay. Yeah, I hear like that secret noise, but I'm not going to bother looking for it as I axe the wall. Alright, so this was not a dead end, but there's nothing we can do here, so let's jump across. And my assumption is that this is going to be symmetrical. And I'm going to end up back over there. Oh, I got lucky. Alright, so now we have this silver rune key, which it's next to this, so I assume that's where we need to go. Ooh, look at that. One more to go. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and see if there's a mirror. Doors are opening. Okay. So that might have been there? I don't know. But let's go this way, see if I miss anything. Nope. Okay, that's not activated yet, so I'm going to go down and left. So close. Okay. Yeah. I'm really bad at secrets. Oh, okay. Rangers in the Rafters 2, Electric Shoobaloo. That's awesome. Alright, yeah, so I guess I didn't. Oh, had some alpha too. Should have noticed that. I didn't look hard enough. I knew it was different, I just didn't follow through hard enough. Okay, so I'm gonna continue to go down this way. You know, every time they say freeze, I don't listen. It's kind of rude, but you know, I'm kind of a rebel. Alright, so continuing the path counterclockwise. Alright, okay. So this is pretty mellow. Oh yeah, I'm doing this song. This is much more actiony on hard difficulty for sure. Oh boy, that was scary. Alright. I don't know what this is, but that's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, again, something I talk about in maps is not everything has to have a function, and I think it's kind of unhealthy to think that everything has to have a function. But that's just me. Ah, heck, we have plenty of nails in this map. There we go. Refill there. Okay, so I'm going to continue. Oh, wow, okay. I guess that's what happened when I shot downwards into, down here. Or whatever. Very nice. I like having red armor. Alright. Yeah, I appreciate these details up here. These boards that are crooked and supporting. Why would they be crooked, though? I mean, I could see boards like this vertically being crooked, but I don't I guess to me that would mean just a sloppy builder, which doesn't really make sense with the rest of the construction. I guess this is more of a makeshift feeling towards it. Makeshift holding the ceiling up. But yeah, it's a duct tape job. I don't know. I mean, okay, I'm definitely going to be nitpicky about it. I'm not really convinced that it should be this way. I don't like the word should. I take that back. I'm not convinced this is the way to do it because it's harder to... Let me look. Yeah, because these are flush with this... with the wall, and carpentry, it's a lot more difficult to do things at an angle. Like, it's easier to just make a straight cut. So sorry to bust your chops, Marky, but I'm not convinced by this. Like, it would be harder to do that. I don't know, I feel like there's a predisposition to make things askew. Like, the thing is, I didn't really notice or care about it. Okay, I noticed the wooden support beams, but I didn't really think about them being askew. I just thought, okay, that's some, like, it's just telling us, that there's some, like, this place isn't stable. So yeah, I mean, in an actual, like, practical sense, it doesn't make any sense. But to me, it's just, I guess it's just communicating to us that, yeah, it's just a duct tape job, because you can't really communicate that super well if they're perfectly aligned or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Crooked boards are contextualized further than map past the gold door. Oh, so you're just making excuses, huh? Wink, wink. No, I'm just being silly. I don't remember, because it's been about a fortnight since I played this, at least. I forgot what I just did. What did I do? Well, I'll walk around and find out. No, that's the beginning. I don't think I got the gold key. Okay. This is obviously the player's fault and not the level designer's fault. Forgetting where I needed to go, what I needed to do. Okay. Went that way. I click that. Okay, and now, yeah, I'm back up here. No, I don't do that. Did I get... Okay, I didn't get the silver rune key. Oh, I just... Okay, there we go. That was activated. Alright, so now we have this sequence, which I unfairly know about ahead of time. Very tricky. So that was cool. I was able to take advantage of that. Okay. Yeah, I feel really... Okay, I want to go through that again. But more slowly, a little bit more analysis. Alright, so I'm going to save right here. Alright, so we're... First of all, we're dumped into a... not a thief's ring. Thief's ring is from Demon Souls. Ring of Shadows. Okay, so we're dumped into a Ring of Shadows. And in the context of this map, there's no indication of needing to sneak around so far. So the fact that we're given the Ring of Shadows is kind of like, oh, wait. Okay, so this might be a fun little bonus. But then you go over here and you're just like sneaking around. Oh, I better like get to the goal and then get out. Okay, so let's try to do that. Oh, but we can't. Let's just get rid of these guys. But then we have all this to deal with. And so this is what happens. Right. So, yeah, that obviously that happened to me the first time I did that, where you think maybe you can escape, but again, we're forced. Okay. Okay, so we're forced into taking this Ring of Shadows. So after going through that section, trying to be a Garrett, I think that's his name in Thief. After trying to do it that way, we see that that's unsuccessful. All right. And so now, as a player, I'm like, okay, so I guess I just need to kill these guys. Oh, but that awakens them. Alright, so I try to do that. I'll get this Ring of Shadows. Oh, but that killed me. Alright. So I go down here. So I get the Ring of Shadows. And here I'm like, okay, so how come that's not killing this boy? And then I'm like, okay, so now I remember from the language of obsessive brick disorder that if I do this, it triggers something. Whenever there is a weapon or whatever on some yellow tiles like that, that something would trigger. And then that's when I'm able to put together, that's what that's for. Okay. So here's our Gifty Poo. Okay, so this is good timing. Alright, so I can do that. Okay, I can do this here as well. What about this? There's no thing here. But let's see about that. And that works. Okay, so that should work too. Correct. And I figured this out. Okay. Alright. I don't know if there's a trap for this guy. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to do that over again. Alright, so... Must have taken some time to get that right. It's kind of sad, kind of funny and sad that it stops like right before him. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, we're good. That's very generous. How do I kill this boy? You know what? I can just do this. And this is Progue's dump, I believe. Which means there isn't the copper ring of shadows. Okay. Alright, so that makes this battle possible and easy because I'm a pro gamer. I'm definitely not. I kind of suck. I'm decent at Quake, but that's about it. Alright, so we got that. We got our silver key. Alright, so I'm going to get this. Open that up. See what I can do. Nope, can't do that. Jump here. Sure, why not? Alright. Alright, now we're in a SHIT-STORM. Whoopsie daisies. That's so cool. Jesus. So for some infighting. Doesn't sound like it. Yeah, it doesn't look like that'll be happening, sadly. Alright. Oh, there's two of them, eh? I foolishly didn't think that would get me. Alright, that was pretty simple. That was a really fun quad run. Like I've mentioned before in my other streams, like quad runs are some of my favorite moments in gameplay. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna... Ooh, Rangers in the Rafters. Very cool. Yeah, I never got that before. Or I could have done that. Did I do the puzzle in the last area? No, I haven't gone very far past the stealth section. Okay, so I will... I think I got the gold key. No, I didn't. What am I doing? In the stealth wing. Did you do the puzzle in the last area? Oh no, I kind of skipped Yeah, I kind of skipped a bit. I was getting too excited about the quad run. Okay, that seems unfriendly. Alright, so, yeah, I don't need to worry about, I can take my time with this. Okay, yeah, so I don't know what's going on there yet. Let's jump there. Going up here. Okay, let's see what that does. Oh. Alright. I think I know what to do. Nope. Alright. This sucks that I'm doing this on trial and error because I'm really bad at logic puzzles. I think this should do it. Ah, damn it. Okay, so what does this change? Okay, this makes them move from one side to the other. Okay, and that does that. And so... Huh. Okay. And so there must be a trigger here somewhere. Okay, let me try that again. I don't think this is a thing about speed. Oh, there we go. Okay. See, I did want them to both be... ooh, boy. I did want them to be... oh, wow. I want them to be open at the same time. Oh, no. Well, I'm gonna be a cheater, boy. I just want to check that out. Ooh. Very sexy. I appreciate that tip, Markie. I assume you want to go by Markie instead of Michael, so that's why I'm calling you that. And down below, very cool. Has a cute set of secrets. I'm glad you mentioned that because, yeah, the thing about quad runs is I get too excited and I forget what I was doing or what I needed to do. So I completed that. Is there something on the other side I need to do? This. Okay, wind tunnel activated. Gotcha. Alright, that sounds scary. Oh, I have... I didn't realize I had the... well, I don't need more. Okay, yeah, I didn't realize I got the... pentagram of protection. There we go. Oh, okay, yeah, I ran out a long time ago. Whoopsie daisies. Okay. Jeez. Alright, yeah, that was obviously really intense. My goodness. I can never get enough of these little mini battles. Is an homage to Dead Simple from Doom 2. Oh. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I get it. Oops. Didn't realize that was a lift. I wanna... Alright, I'll just do it the easy way then. Yeah, that was really cute. I really appreciate that. I was gonna say fun fact, but it's just a fact. I think of this map as more of even simpler from Doom 64 since I played that back in the 90s whenever it was released, late 90s, and I didn't play Doom 2 until about 2017, 2018. So my reference point is Doom 64, which is a better game. Well, I like it better. Oh, Daniel, you thought that was going to be easy, huh? Actually, I totally forgot that was going to happen. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's what I should have been doing. And I can't really hear the music, but I hear some piano playing, and that pleases me greatly. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not a strike against, like, it doesn't matter since it's original music, but yeah, I tend to keep the music low during streams for obvious reasons. Activation failed. Okay, so this definitely seems like a battle arena to me. Activation failed. Only one more to go. Okay. And then what happens? Can save here. Worst secret ever. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. That was really good though. I like that. Okay, wind tunnel action. Oh, I've messed that up. Okay, so wind tunnel. So you get this, and like fudge muffins. Well, I guess it didn't. That wasn't too bad. Okay, I'm very unhealthy right now. Alright. Okay. I survived. That was fine. Then we finally get to the gold game. That was so sad! I'm sad now. I don't know why that affected me more than most puppies. I guess because it was a singular puppy. And he was just minding my own business, and I just nailed him from far away. Oh, that was sad. I have too many feelings sometimes. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that's beautiful. I'm going to come back down this hall. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to take a little dip here. Yeah, having these piers with these uneven boards is always really nice. I don't know, it's probably not very difficult to do. Just kind of probably takes a little bit of time. Maybe some copy, paste, rotate type of stuff, but it always looks kind of nice. I love it. It's always cool to have a pier too. I like piers. Excuse me. cool box floating there. You know, you can make things bob to make them seeming they're like bobbing in water. That's something I never thought about. That's really neat. That was a convenient lift. I like that a lot. Some more duct tape jobs. And yeah, more. Oh, more. Oh, maybe this is what you're referring to contextualize it. Interesting. Yeah, this shadow right here is really, really nice. Ooh, look at that. No, can't shoot the sky. Only one more to go. Containment chamber accessible. That red armor. Okay, so I guess I did get access to it. This is so sad. Siri, play red armor. Oh boy. I'm glad you put that in. I love little moments like this of humanity. Okay, and this is obviously a battle arena that we're forced into. And so I can see that Chthon looks like he's being bothered by what we're doing. He might actually be taking damage, so it seems. I have a red armor, so I'm golden. Oh, infighting, huh? Please do. Oh, that didn't last very long. There we go. Very nice. And to me, that infighting makes it seem like Chthon is actually mortal. And he is. That handsome devil. Cutie patootie. So just going around. Okay, now. So I was about to say, I wish there was something that forced me to run around. And I got what I wanted for. Or got what I wished for. Which was the big fuzzy boy. Oh, missed that one. Even though this is pretty simple, being that I'm so good at Quake, just the fact that I have to run around has tension because I could get her at any moment. And yeah, this is by far way more difficult on hard difficulty. But yeah, that was a fun battle. 248 out of 248, 7 out of 10 secrets. That's good for me. Bright daytime Chthon fight. Yeah, that's a really good point. I've never seen that before. I always appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at this room. Nice use of curves. Very nice ceiling with skylight. Circular. You don't see that too often. Nice detail here. I love when there's like nothing. Yeah, just enough detail to give an impression that this is a whole ass building. Nice use of a skybox. These arch windows are very beautiful. Yeah, you don't really see too much daytime going on. Oh my goodness, this map is massive. Absolutely bonkers. Wow. Wow, this is gorgeous. Yeah, and it does feel pretty massive because you're going a long ways in the wind tunnels, and the way they're interconnected is it's pretty cool. So yeah, one thing I really appreciate after seeing it like this is the fact that I thought the wind tunnels were long just for the sake of having suspense, but it's actually like that's how far you need to be transported, which is very interesting. Yeah, there's a really nice mix of material: wood, glass, brick, stone, blood. Yeah, it's definitely a very Markie map because there's a lot of trim details, stuff that I don't have the patience to do. Essentially, that I'm gonna try working on. But yeah, there's a lot of little details, trim that I can't possibly discuss in the playthrough because otherwise this would take forever. And I also really love this this floorboard going in a quarter circle like this. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be too hard to do with I think the bow curves or whatever. But that's, yeah, I mean, I guess that's something you don't really see in real life too often. Wood being bent to curves, unless you did segments, you did miter cuts and whatnot. But yeah, this is just a really beautiful, dreamy map. Oh, look at this. I mean, yeah, I guess it does need to be this tall. But that looks kind of outrageous compared to, yeah, from out here it does look outrageous compared to how tall or how small in comparison this hallway is. Sorry, didn't pronounce that. But yeah, it makes sense, and it's just another nice detail, like I was talking about in Greenwood's map. It's really nice to have sky peering out because a lot of Quake does happen underground. Does it? I don't know. But yeah, having sky visible in such a dingy setting like a dungeon or whatever brings some more human elements because humans need light, humans need air. It gets stuffy if you don't have that. And this is cool how these are wooden. Don't really see teleporters that are wooden very often. So yeah, that was a fantastic map. And then here's this one, the end. By destroying Cathan's spawn, Ithagaru, you have broken the chain of evil that has bound these cursed epochs. The time continuum has been restored. You can finally rest for now. Very, very ominous. So here's the little what's the word that I want to use? Recap of what we've done, which is pretty cool, but I haven't done Zungryware's map. I forgot where the secret was. I know that was in the 768 map jam, so I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna do a normal it's in JPal's map. Downfire, here we go. Okay, yeah, I did get it through my playthrough, but I just skipped it here. So we'll do Boomy Start here. Yeah, this is really bizarre. It's like a bath right here. This trim is so bizarre. I love this because it's like very wallpapery, and I like those details here. Who did this one? This is Zungryware. That's right. Yeah, I don't know what this detail is, but very cool. I like it quite a bit. Alright, so I get this. Okay, so I'm gonna play it. Yeah, I'm just gonna see what happens. And just try not to cheese this map too much. It's very easy to cheese this map. So we're dropped into this platform that goes down. There's a bunch of enemies. We're given a bunch of ammo. We have this mesh going down. Okay, this opens up. And then this stops here. So this is the amount of space we traveled down. And that looks very, very ominous, especially since these blocks are floating. So I'm going to save here. And I guess we gotta go in here because there's nowhere else we can go. Alright, so I'm going to get this shotgun. Okay, there's some pusher blocks. And alright, there's some ogres. Probably here too. Okay, that's don't want to stay in here too long, so this is barred, so let me do this. Okay, one more to go, so that means I have to go here too. Alright, sequence completed. Alright, gonna save here because you never know. Elevator has been recharged. Okay, so I don't know. I don't think we were told like the elevator ran out of energy or whatever, but yeah, because that was kind of mysterious, but now we get context as to what's happening. Very, very cool texture and details all around. This is really, really cool. All right, so we'll go back here to this teleporter. Then we're going down. I'm gonna jump here and see if I can. Oh, I was knocked down. Okay. Alright. I only have 31 health, so this is a bit rough. Gonna try this. Okay, gonna try to. Oh boy, there is no shelf to rely upon. All right, I survived that. That was rough, but a lot of fun. Oh come on, we're so close. Oh no, there's a lot further to go down. So I guess we gotta go in here. I'll save. Okay, so this is glass. And when I approach this, oh, okay, this is going up and down. So they'll be able to see me. Okay, that's too many, so I'm gonna run for cover. And then I can see, oh, there's an escape here. I could sort of cheese them, but I think that's the only way to really deal with this. Because it's not, I don't feel like a better person for like just taking it in the face over and over. Cool, so health, much needed health. Gonna get this grenade launcher. Alright, so we'll go up. I like the worn edges, or yeah, I like how things are worn. Don't see that too much in Quake. Okay, this is rough. Alright, I'll go to the side. They can't see me there, so I'm gonna do this. Okay, that hurt. Gonna try to bounce it off of here. That's what I'm gonna do. Or I could do this. But oh, there's a passageway here. Solid finish there. And what was that? So first you might know what happened. There's a little teleporter on the ground. Elevator has been recharged. Alright, way back to the elevator. So I'm going to explore before I go in there. Go back up. See where this takes me. Okay, so nothing here. Got all the ammo I needed. Yeah. This teleporter is a little bit weird because I don't know, I wish there was something indicating that there's a, like, of course there's a texture, but maybe I wish it was the rivet texture was flush with the ground and this was submerged a little. I think that would have been more an easier way to sort of understand what was going on. And then, so I saw this, so I'm going to go here. Here's a secret area. Okay. So a tight little space. Why not, right? There we go. Okay. So I went the best way possible. There's two ways. I selected correct. Really enjoy the brushwork here. Okay, now let's go back and save. Alright. You know what? I'm gonna save here, but I'm gonna just... I've always stood on those edges and sort of cheesed it. Oh, we only max out at 250. Oh, that's a shame. I misused that. Quad damage hubs dropped. I'm guessing I'll really need this. Okay. Jeez. This is sad. Okay, that was very useful. Alright. So supposedly this is the exit. Is there anything over here? Oh, okay. These are shortcuts up here. Yeah, so that was the map, I believe. Yeah. So I'm going to take a little look-see around. Ooh, yeah, this is tall as heck. Wow, buddy. That's fun. And instead of climbing up, you climb down, which is unusual. People who are afraid of heights, don't watch this. Oh, that was frightening. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then, yeah, this takes... Yeah, so I believe this was part of the original 768 by 768 X and Y axis jam. Which I believe... Yeah, it's the same one I saw Greenwood's first map. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Oh, I messed up. But yeah, I usually hung out on the top. La-di-da. Like about right here, and just let them fight down there while I moved around to avoid fire. But yeah, this was a really, really fun map. It makes for a really good secret map. So, yeah, thanks, Zungryware. Not a bad idea to include it. So, yep, and that about does it for EoE. All right, and that's about the 2-hour mark. So yeah, that's great. So a recap of this map pack. I talked a lot about how I feel that maybe this map pack was too good for episode 6 standards. But again, I've played episode 5 a couple nights ago, and yeah, that was a little bit more ambitious. And I think a couple of the maps here, the castle map and what was the other one? I think not in the town was appropriate, but I think the castle map was maybe too big to fit into an episode 6. Again, I don't know exactly why Greenwood decided to make this episode 6, but in case it wasn't clear, I think it's obviously worthy of that. The question are the mapping skills too good to be episode 6? I don't know. I guess if you're trying to, I really like this ending screen to see all the textures. But yeah, I guess if you're really trying to stick with the episodes, I would have maybe preferred to see maps in sort of in the style of the original Quake people. You didn't really get that in episode 5, so I guess it's just sort of breaking away. So in the sense of that makes sense. And I don't really have complaints. I just think I'm just don't understand. Not in a bad way, like I just literally don't. Wait, I should probably just ask Greenwood about that. But again, like all these maps were certainly worthy of being called episode 6. There's no question. I mean, honestly, most of the maps people make most nowadays easy. Like the quality is incredibly high. It's absurd. Which is the reason why it took me about a year to get into mapping after starting playing Quake. I played Quake maps for about custom maps for about the year before I started mapping. And yeah, I'm back to EoE. This was a great episode. I felt relatively cohesive, considering there's a bunch of different mappers, but especially the last couple maps, Nolcoz and Markie, they both had a lot of tricky elements to them that had that sort of element of surprise happening, which I felt was very appropriate. But again, this was a wonderful map pack. Thank you all so much for contributing to the Quake community. And anyone who's watching or watches this, anyone who does anything to do with the Quake community, I really appreciate you being involved with a game that's this old, 24, I believe, years old. So yeah, that's the stream. And thank you so much. I will see you on Discord. Love you all. Take care. Bye bye.